Thank you, Lenny. Hi, welcome. I'm jumping.
Oh wow, you're
Welcome.
bouncing so good.
We're doing
as well.
the
Wow.
pit. I mean, City Hall today.
Yeah, you got the form.
This is totally not pre-recorded. Also, that's very funny. I turned around and Bowser fell off the pipe. That was very cute. Yeah, this is pre-recorded. Can you hear everything, Lenny?
Yes.
Is it
Everything's
not too loud?
perfectly fine.
It's perfectly fine?
Yeah. Oh, look, it's corpse.
Yes, all right. Good. Yes, so reasoning for doing this post-commentary and having it pre-recorded is basically, well, as you may have seen due to, well, the joke I did. I don't know if I'm going to make it a separate video or just tag it on to this video. We'll see what I end up doing with it. The pit really isn't interesting enough, in my opinion, to really show it, especially twice. But there might be some people who do want the pit experience as sort of like to make the playthrough more complete. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll show one of the runs and I'll just do both on my own time so I don't have to waste Lenny's time. But we'll do post-commentary over the second run, and then we can lead that into me actually doing the finale of the pit live, because right now my Wii U is paused right before the final door, like with the joke we did.
Yes.
And that's basically it. That's why we're here and we're doing post-commentary. Also, it makes it easier to do commentary, honestly.
Yeah,
because
honestly,
I don't get distracted by stuff that happens.
Yeah,
We'll still
exactly.
talk about the game or funny stuff. I'm sorry, I'm sorry for interrupting.
Let me talk.
I'm sorry. Also, Merlee, hi. We'll still talk about stuff when some funny stuff or weird stuff happens, but mostly I feel like this will be very podcasty and us just talking about random shit. So go ahead, Lenny. What did you want to say?
Well, I was just gonna say exactly that. Like, this isn't really a thing where the fact that it's live commentary, it's not gonna be that big of a difference.
Yeah, it matters very little. It does matter because I might not react to bullshit happening. There was some bullshit, but it's not big enough. We're like, oh, you needed my reaction. I'll talk about it when, like, I had a crazy reaction to something. But one thing you might see is I'm doing crazy amounts of damage to these enemies, and that's basically because before going to the pit for the first time, this flopside pit, I spent all my money on cards, so I got a bunch of dark enemy cards. Also, yeah, surprise, the flopside pit is where the dark enemies are.
Whoa.
And then after doing it once, you basically end right around max coins, unless you spend your coins in a pit. So, I just... Also here, did you see that key?
Oh.
It just randomly spawned at the door. Do you know why that happened?
Is that because of the shell?
Yeah, basically, I think the shell despawned probably, and the shelled enemy that despawned had the key. So it's actually a failsafe in this game. Sometimes the key might randomly spawn next to the door, and that's if an enemy, like, if it's just a failsafe, and it's good design, honestly. If an enemy ends up despawning or something, the key does appear right next to the door. What was I talking about before interrupting myself? Oh yeah, the cards. So yeah, after finishing City Hall, the pit, whatever, the first time I ended up with max coins, and I spent all those coins again on cards before doing my second run. So that's why I'm doing crazy amounts of damage to these enemies, because I have around 1 to 4 copies of dark enemy cards. So sometimes you might see a certain enemy taking over 100 damage.
Oh geez.
Just because I have so many copies of their card. Also level ups.
Leveling also works, yeah.
I've given up on making the base game even remotely challenging. Surprise, the base game isn't challenging, even if you're not doing all the side stuff. But I will try my best during the playthrough to still try to make bosses a little more interesting by doing some dumb shenanigans and not just breathing fire twice and killing them. So I'll try my best doing that, but yeah, the pit definitely contributed to extreme overleveling, because these enemies usually give about 1,000 points per enemy, so it goes incredibly fast. Yeah, this also kind of continues the reference to the whole Game & Watch thing. You know, all the enemies are dark enemies.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Also, layouts of these later floors are also that's complete bullshit.
Nice.
That's fucking 100% bullshit, but whatever. Layouts of these of the flopside pit tend to be a little more obnoxious, and sometimes they do force you to take pipes, which is, I mean, I really don't like that. The pipe animation is way too long, and it's like I've done the pit enough times in my life, and I just kind of want it to be over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's fine. It didn't take that long, especially because I could just focus on the game. I do wonder if I actually got that coin that just didn't disappear. Also, all of these cards, we'll check him out after doing floor 100.
Dashel.
Yeah, Dashel, wow. I doubt any of them will, also the fuzzy still do
Yeah, I
weird
love
shit.
it. Love it.
I doubt any of them will have super epic crazy stuff, but I mean, they're fun cards, especially the later cards you get in here. Yeah, most of my strategy kind of consisted of running around with Dashel, Bowser, and sometimes Carry to breathe fire in midair to like take care of an enemy that's on a little ledge. And that kind of worked for most of the floors. Some floors get a little scary, but I mean, at that point, sometimes you can just use Dottie so enemies stop attacking, which really helps. Also, weird little detail, the cards of these dark stone buzzies. Look at that Bowser.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, wow, look at that.
Don't stare at them for too long.
Yeah,
it's kind of cursed.
His face is kind of like, what's happened to his eyes?
Also, I don't know how much that melee wheel is weighted towards giving you something. Maybe it's 100% random, or maybe just more weighted to give you worse items. Maybe JD Acer can tell us, because it's actually been kind of fun. Sometimes JD Acer just sneaks into the comments, dropping some epic, like, epic information about the game.
Epic knowledge.
Yeah, his knowledge, flexing his knowledge. It's good. It helps. Yeah, about those stone buzzies, they're kind of gone now, but I'm still gonna finish my point about it. The Darkstone Buzzy card actually says, it's actually almost like probably the only one I read it, because I kind of wanted to check some of the Dark cards, seeing like, do they actually say interesting stuff? And sometimes they're funny, so we will read them at some point. But the Darkstone Buzzy card actually says they're stronger than regular Stone Buzzies, and they're not. Maybe they do more damage, but they still take 3 stomps, so they're not different at all.
I mean, then it must be attack power.
That's probably. Also, yeah, that's
Nice.
still very fun. There'll be some more berry shenanigans on this for sure. Also, the murals. We're going to see a couple more murals, and actually one mural we technically don't know what it's about. It won't give anything away. Like, I'm not going to censor the entire screen.
The entire screen is just
for the
blurry.
last 25 floors. That would be funny. No, but this one is nice. It's the Queen Squirp. What was her name? Squirpina? Squirp.
I think Scorpina. Yeah.
Wait, what was the kingdom called? Wasn't that Squirpina?
Don't remember.
Oh, fuck, Lenny, we should know this. Yeah, it's just like this mural is the queen with all the squirpses. Well, all the squirp. What was the kingdom called? The squirpalicious people. I don't know. But I think I got pretty much everything out of the way. Talking wise, probably. This recording did take. Also, that was a little risky. I wasn't sure whether it was going to kill the guy or actually still make me take the hit. But hey, I have Piccolo. Yeah, this run took about an hour, a little bit more. So it is a pretty long time for us to talk, but I feel like we're like, it might feel like a long time, but when we get rambling, that time goes by way faster than you think.
Oh, it goes very fast.
Yeah. You know, kind of like the whole cooking talk. Like, I didn't think we were actually going to be able to fill 50 minutes with that.
We manage. We always manage.
See, and even though that's like not a super interesting topic, I still feel like that part of the video just worked out very well. I know, it was just kind of fun, like, listening back to it, and, I mean, of course, cutting some stuff out. I actually cut out, like, 10 whole minutes of, well, silence, basically.
Yeah, I can imagine that's probably...
But, like, I made it fun, and with the whole, like, chill vibe of it, I don't know. I just really liked how that turned out.
I mean, doesn't that usually tend to be the case where the videos where we just kind of do our own thing, those end up being pretty fun?
Yeah. I mean, to me personally, those usually end up being the most fun to, like, look back at. Like, for example, one that always sticks in my mind is in Origami King, when we did some, like, I don't exactly remember exactly what it was, but it's like, I don't know, when we went around the world and maybe collecting...
They were collecting just a bunch of stuff. Like
some stuff, some toads maybe that we didn't get.
What?
It's Gumbar!
Oh my god!
Yeah, I actually totally forgot what the cards say. I don't think they'll be that crazy, but it'll be fun to look back at. Yeah, anyway, like the Origami King thing, it's just, I don't know. Just when we do random bullshit and talk about random bullshit, it's just, to me personally, the most fun to look back at and remember. Also, yeah, that damage. There's no 99 cap. It's actually, yeah. And I was like, oh, you know what? Let's get another Poke card. Why not?
More power.
And I've actually been thinking about that, like, as dumb as it sounds, because I am kind of the mindset of, like, when random people, like, too many podcasts exist of just people talking about random topics.
True.
And, like, it is kind of true, like, the whole sentiment of, like, shut up, nobody wants to listen to your podcast. But, like, there's always people interested in just random conversations between, like, in our case, I mean, we're family, but you just could call us good friends about the topic they're both very interested in.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about just doing more videos of it, just talking about, yeah, exactly that, topics we're both interested in.
Yeah, I think that could be very fun. Because, hey, guess what? I like talking about things with you. Shocker.
Yeah. That's the thing, just like, we talk so much about random shit anyway. Why not record it and put it online?
Yeah, true. Like,
and then randomly, one of those will get 1 million views and will be incredibly famous, Lenny. That's the goal, obviously.
All the money.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but like, it's like yesterday, we like, you know, we did a little recording, and then afterwards we started talking about Deltarune for like, I want to say like at least, what, like 20, 30 minutes?
At least 20 minutes.
And we were also like, dang, we should have saved this for the video.
Yeah, it's like basically because, I mean, we are gonna date this recording talking about that, but like, I feel like we date recordings anyway, and this is one that isn't,
who cares,
like, too important to the main playthrough, so it's not like somebody who watches this years later, like, has to watch this specific thing for the content, and I can't believe you're not talking about what's happening on screen like it's just a pit.
But look, it's
really
the dark
matter.
version of those guys that I really like, that extend.
Oh,
wow.
It's a dark fuzzy of those long guys. Oh no, wow. Dark longinators. But yeah. And we talked about, like, the Deltarune, the Spamton sweepstakes happened. And we talked about that for like 20 minutes. It was very fun. I was just reminded of how fucking, like, the childlike excitement I feel for just...
Dude, disrespect on this dry bones, Jesus.
I can't get off. Like, here I was actually stuck. Like, I had to turn around to make Bowser, like, actually be able to go back. It was weird. And I was like, Barry. Yeah, I definitely disrespected the fuck out of that dark bones. Wait, is that dark bones? Dark dry bones? Dark dull bones? Dark bones? I don't know. But yeah, it's just like something about Deltarune just invokes such a cozy feeling to me. Just the idea of, like, oh, when chapter 2 released, I got up at like 6 a.m. and I played a bit of the game. And then 2 hours later, I joined you on your stream. And was just, you know, it made me feel like I was a kid again. It's like, oh, waking up on Christmas morning to see your presents.
Yeah.
It's so rare for me to have that feeling in this day and age. And for some reason, Deltarune just invoked that in me. And just, I don't know, just sharing that with you. I mean, I guess that's a big part of it.
I definitely think a big part, like, I mean, when Deltarune Chapter 1 came out, I was also like, oh shit, oh, what, Deltarune, holy shit, what is this? But
yeah,
I definitely had a much stronger feeling with Chapter 2, which, I mean, it's partly because I was like, oh shit, finally a new chapter. I already knew, like, oh, this is gonna be very cool. But sharing it with you is a very big part of it. Like, and like, dude, like, honestly, it wouldn't have been nearly as fun, for example, if your Spamton voice wasn't a thing.
I mean, yes. I mean, looking back,
doing
like
stuff like that,
the quote-unquote canon Spamton voices are way better now, in my opinion. But like, it was fun at that time. Just me being like, oh, let's give them a fucking filter on the voice.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that I made my Queen voice a thing because I love it.
Oh, it's so good.
I hope that there's more Queen content in the later chapters just so I can do that voice some more.
Seeing the little scene he showcased on the update thingy.
Oh, I was immediately like, fuck yes, more dumb Queen bullshit.
Also, look at that Spaniel, by the way.
Oh, I was having a lot of fun. Just like, wee!
I was like, is he actually gonna stop? Oh, okay.
I was for some reason a little worried.
Yeah, just seeing that Queen scene, I just heard it in your voice. And I was like, oh my god. You actually created perfection.
Yeah, immediately like, oh hey Chris, you wanna... So... Oh, it's gonna be so good. Yeah, like, and the thing that was like, that was also saying is like, you know, with Deltarune, it's like, you know, of course we're gonna have to wait a long time for all of the chapters to come out. And because Chapter 1, Chapter 2 were so good, it's like, there's already so many expectations, and like, because of how good Undertale was, and you know, Chapter 1 and 2 of Deltarune, like, the expectations are so high, but for some reason there's like no fear or doubt whatsoever
that it will be good.
Yeah, like, there's no question. Like, when I think, like, dude, seeing how Deltarune Chapter 1 and 2 are, and the fact that there's like at least 5 more of these, is like, this could very well end up being way better than Undertale. And then it's like, of course. Yeah, totally. Like, it's not even, because like, Undertale already was so good, it feels like crazy to say, but it's like, oh yeah, no doubt whatsoever, it's gonna be better than Undertale.
It's gonna be a bigger story, and I mean, I think we're still of the same mind what the overarching, not the overarching plot, but like the
theme.
What the theme will be like. Help me out here, Lenny.
Well, I mean, it's probably gonna, like, you know, it's probably gonna be something about like escapism and
basically that.
Because you know, it's always like, man, these alternate worlds, these dark worlds are so cool. Can't we just stay here? This place is awesome.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like it's gonna be a relatable message in the game.
The real
and
world
it was the same.
Sucks.
The same for Undertale. Like, oh, if you enjoy RPGs, like, it has a message, and I like the message.
Yeah.
And here it's gonna be the same, but I feel like it's gonna apply more to like actual real life than Undertale. Undertale is more about gaming, and now this is gonna be like actually about like escapism and stuff.
Yeah. This is gonna be like about. This is Toby being like, yo, this is what I think is up.
Yeah, it's just also the thing of like, I'm just wondering so hard, like, where is this shit gonna go?
Yeah, I'm still thinking about the fact, like, for what reason are like what's he gonna do with all of the Undertale characters that are here, but then they're all like slightly different, and it's like, what's he gonna, like, he's gonna do something.
To me, it's like, why is Chris literally the most unsettling weirdo I've ever heard of?
Yeah, it's like in the games, it's already like you hear things about Chris in the past. They're like, what? But then like in the like one of the pages from the Spam
secret
sweepstakes,
pages, yeah.
one of the secret pages was this whole story of Susie, like bullying Chris. But then Chris was just acting so fucking weird. And like they quietly said something to Susie that caused Susie to like back the fuck off, and it's like, what happened? Like, what is up with Chris?
Like, is he actually just gonna be just a weird kid? Oh, by the way, here I'm showing Piccolo actually doesn't cure poison.
Oh, actually, I read a comment about that. I'm like, what?
Out of fucking all things!
Yeah.
Why?
Well, listen, that's why we need to cook.
Well, yeah, here I'm also going to show poison actually does dissipate after a while. It's not even that bad, honestly, but still, poison is dumb in this game. Also that. Yeah, but like, it's fucking... Oh, well, I guess we'll continue about the game a little bit. Here, I like this mural. You see the first King Crocus.
Oh, yeah,
like
this is
the purple one
yeah.
who was like fucking crazy. It was like the Iron Rose or something.
Yeah.
So it really shows how the pit was made back in the days of the ancients, and it shows the first guardians of the Pure Hearts, which makes it weirder that Merlee is one of those murals, which makes me think that's not actually Merlee, but one of her ancestors. Oh, here there's also another thing. I think it might be in this room or maybe the next room. Also, that was beautiful.
Nice. Sick dodge.
Dashel. Running, it works. I think it might be in the next room where I do some weird shit. No, not here. Okay, fine. Some other time then. But yeah, I'm just thinking, like, is Chris literally gonna be just a very weird kid, or will it be more meta like Undertale?
Well, there's definitely a meta aspect to it in the sense that we are actively taking control of Chris's body, and Chris doesn't like that shit and wants it to stop.
No, but he does, because he literally puts us back.
Well, see, that's the interesting part, isn't it? It's like, why does he do that? So, and it's like, because, we heard about, like, oh yeah, the night is causing all these dark worlds to appear. But then at the end of chapter 2, we see Chris make one. It's like, what? Is he the knight or something? And
it actually doesn't 100% mean he is the knight.
Yeah, that's why I think all of the crazy shit that Chris is doing, like, for example, like throwing you in the cupboard, escaping out of the window, slashing the tires, and coming back, I don't think he's, like... It's not like he's planning sinister stuff. I think he is being led astray by... Or, like, that plan? Someone told him about that plan, I think. Maybe that person is the knight, but in any case, like, I think someone's pulling the strings.
Man.
Is it gonna be Gaster? Ooh!
That's another thing, like... Is this really what he was going for?
I still doubt that, like... for some reason, it's hard to believe that it would actually end up being like, it was Gaster all along. But the thing is, there are legitimately so many hints towards Gaster in Deltarune that I'm like, well, shit. It might
One
just be
thing
the
I'm
case.
hoping... Yeah, wasn't there a weird thing about the eggs also in the sweepstakes? Like a thing that hinted towards like the weird Easter eggs. Honestly, nobody collected because I didn't. Like, you'd have to know about it. Which makes me wonder if they're really going to be that important. Because imagine, like, punishing a player that didn't
know
look
about
it up.
the eggs that's, like, super vague. Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, I feel like I said this in our discussion. And our level, great.
Oh.
I feel like I said this in our discussion. That it's more going to be a joke about Easter eggs.
Like, you do all that crazy stuff, and then at the end it's like, oh wow, that's a lot of eggs.
It doesn't really do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder.
Yeah, the characters are so likable. I don't know how Toby does it. He's just so good at writing fun characters.
Yeah, how does he do it? And it's like, and it's also like, in Undertale, the characters were already so likable. Despite the fact that it's like, a pretty short game. And it's just like, okay, so now you just have more time to spend with these fun characters. So it's like, they're just gonna be so much more lovable now.
Yeah, and I just want the game to continue to see more of like, oh, where are these characters gonna go? Like, what are they gonna? That was
Whoa,
weird.
that was nice.
Yes, I hate this guy, by the way. I just leveled up. I was at full HP a sec ago.
Yeah, doing a good job.
Just like I want to see these characters do things, and like, where are they gonna go? Where's all of this gonna lead to? Like, there's so many questions, and as a human, I want questions to be answered. Hello, I am human.
But again, it's like
just,
with Toby, it's like we're gonna get those answers. He's not
of course.
He's not gonna leave us hanging.
But like, there's so many things you can see or not see, and like. For example, oh, there's gonna be one ending. Is there?
Question mark? Because again, it's like, it's the whole thing. Is it
gonna be about futility?
Yeah, because that's the thing. The whole thing is like, yeah. At the beginning, they say like, you don't have any choice in this world.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, what's gonna be the deal with that? And it's like the same with, like that's what makes it so confusing when in chapter 2 suddenly it appeared like, wait, there's a weird routes that you can take, like that's like super fucked up, and but then it's also like, okay, so that's gonna be a thing, but then nice, very cool.
Yeah, this floor is the dumbest floor.
Beautiful.
They just all kill themselves. Yes,
but yeah, like there's that route, and then but it goes so far where at the end of that route, if you do it properly, like Birdly is fucking dead. So
yeah,
how does that work with the rest of the game? Like, is there just gonna be one less character? Because that seems like a big deal. Like, you would change the writing of like the entire game for that to make sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, how much of an impact will that have? Maybe it'll be a thing where it's like, yeah, you don't have a choice, but then that route is the way to have a choice. But then it's like a super weird, like obscure, because it's like very obscure to do everything right in that.
Yeah,
route.
like it can be as simple as just him having an arm paralyzed.
Yeah.
If you like don't free him in the queen battle, like that's already a something different. Like sure, he's alive.
Yeah, it's also true.
Oh, by the way, something about these enemies. Like I complained about the Schlorps. These dark slurps or whatever they're called, yeah, they're basically just a worse version of those. It's like, oh, now you feed them 3 bombs.
Yeah,
it's so fun. Wow, game design. Yeah. Yeah. Just questions. So many questions. And the fact that the next release is going to be chapter 3, 4, 5.
3 whole chapters.
Sure. But then, like, we're going to have to wait again for the next 2, presumably, chapters. Which is like, oh, here I'm doing it.
Whoa.
Like, you can reflect... I know, you can reflect things with Barry, but it acts so fucking weird. I feel like it wasn't 100% tested or implemented exactly how they wanted to, because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and it acts very weird. You just do like an infinite reflection. And see, it still goes through. So what? I'm so confused.
Oh, that guy dodged your flames real good.
No, fuck him. Bowser is a big target. It's kind of annoying sometimes. Ooh. Fucking, the game still distracts me. How does it do it? Let me get my mind straight. Lenny, help.
What? Delta root stuff?
Yeah, of course. Oh, never mind. Long lash shakes. You know how I said it heals 15 HP over time?
Yeah.
It actually was 20 HP over time. So even the best cooked item that heals HP over time is not better than a 30 coin item you can buy in the store.
Wow.
Also, JDSer told us like a lot of recipes in this game, even though the game only tells you about one recipe or like one combination of items that actually gives you a certain recipe. In this game, recipes have like a ton of valid combinations to actually cook the item. Like he said, like Azez Deluxe, not Azez Deluxe, Adil's Deluxe has like 200 valid combinations.
Oh,
or maybe Azez Dilla's breakfast. Like basically, one of the Dilla's items he says like has like 200 valid combinations, which is crazy.
Wow, that is crazy.
So, yeah,
Jesus.
Even though the game tells you about one, and there's no way you would find out about the other combinations, it's still a thing, which really makes me wonder more about the cooking in this game. Yeah, I feel like if you want to hear us talk about Deltarune, you should probably check out our big old discussion. I think the video is called "We Talked About Deltarune talking about Deltarune Chapter 2 for way too long" or something.
Yeah.
I usually title videos like that. Because I mean, it's kind of literally what the video is about.
We do tend to ramble.
We talk about thing for way too long, but it's fun. But yeah, it's just, I'm really excited for the future, and you know it's gonna be good.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
When I don't think about it, I'm fine. But when I'm reminded of its existence,
they're like, fuck, I want it.
For like at least the next couple of days, it's on my mind. I'm like, oh fuck, I want it so bad. But then it goes away again, and I'm fine. Like, oh, here I'm using Dottie, by the way, to make them stop throwing hammers. It's very nice. It's very helpful. You could use this for every floor, but then like running around is pretty slow.
Get over here. Come on.
He doesn't. So yeah, Dottie is 100% like the best pixel for safety.
Yeah.
But I prioritize speed over safety, honestly. I don't care. Also nice. Yes, Lenny, what you want to say?
I love how that works. You're super tiny. It's like, bah! And then suddenly like, bam!
Yeah.
90 damage or whatever.
Like, it'd be funny if your damage was like set to 1 if you were tiny. Like you always do 1 damage. That could actually be like a fun challenge at that point. But no, you just do your regular damage, which makes no sense. Yeah, here you see I prioritize speed over safety. I don't really care because I have enough emergency rations, as you saw.
So many items.
So it's fine. But yeah, speaking over being excited for a thing when you're reminded of its existence, I don't know why I came upon it. Actually, where even is that file? Well, anyway, I have a file on my PC. Actually, now I wonder where it's saved and how I came upon it, but it doesn't matter. I basically, when we played Dokkan Kingdom in 2014, I think, we recorded like a little part of it for some footage. And I just saw that footage and I was like, I'll click on it. And just seeing that again, like, I didn't click away immediately. I watched like a good 5 minutes just of random Dokapon recording and just being reminded of how fucking fun of a time that was and how fucking much I want to play that game again.
Dude, Dokapon is legitimately incredible.
It's one of those games that really showcases to me like the longer a game goes on for, and like of course if it's like a versus thing and bullshit can happen, the better it is. It's just fucking, that's so many dumb fun memories, like, but it's an experience we had and it's not like a recorded experience, it's not online, but in a way it would be fun to actually have that and like look back on it in a couple of years and be like, oh man, that was so fun. And rewatching the best moments. I mean, I feel like it's a curse of being eternally online in this day and age, of being like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have that stuff like eternally online?
Yeah.
But it's also like, technically you don't. Like, isn't it better to have the memory as that a memory?
Yeah, because that's the thing that I had with, you know, when I also decided like, oh wait, you have like a spare capture card. Oh, give it to me. Maybe I can start streaming, because I was also like, oh yeah, because then I'm like, oh yeah, then I could like have my first experience with the game. But then I can always like look back on my first experience with the game with fond memories and stuff. But then it's like, I don't know, then streaming, it turns out like, wow, streaming is harder than I thought, and it's not as fun. And then I was like, I played a game just on my own time, and I'm like, man, I forgot how fun it is to just sit down with the game. So then I'm like, I don't want to stream anymore, and I'd rather just have the memories.
Yeah,
even though there's still sometimes games where I'm like, oh man, you know, this would have been fun to have like recorded or whatever, but it's really not a big deal. I'd much rather just spend my time with the game.
Also, these guys' HP is way too fucking much.
That is a lot of HP.
I did 360 damage, and he only died then.
Yeah.
I think they probably have 255, if I had to guess. Yeah, I think it's... And that's probably, like, it's probably why it's not honestly a bad idea to record everything and then just, like, make a highlight reel of it. It's like, I feel like if I recorded my entire Pokemon Arceus playthrough and actually did commentary, but only commentated when funny stuff happened, like, I feel like I could make a half-hour video of, like, a fucking 40-hour playthrough. Yeah. Also, this is fucking Bowser. Can't hammer.
Nice.
Ceiling stops him. But yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of work to do content like that, but it could be fun.
Yeah, that's the one thing. It's like, it would be a lot of extra work to make sure you're already recording everything, and that you're also like recording audio.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna be honest about it. Doing playthroughs and daily videos. Like, it's not for everybody, and like it doesn't have the widest appeal. Like what we're doing, basically doing playthroughs, and then people have to sit down and watch like half an hour a day of people playing a game. It's not for everybody, and especially in this day and age, people enjoy watching like short clip videos more. But just to have a steady flow of content, this is still to me like kind of a cheat mode of doing YouTube content. Like, this is probably the easiest way to have a consistent flow of daily content. But yes, in the future, I think if I actually get bored of this, I feel like I would change to more of like an analytical style where I just talk about video games and like make a script.
Yeah, actually, dude, that reminds me, like literally yesterday I saw a video about it's a video of like an hour and 10 minutes or something, and it's a guy who just analyzes the region design of all Pokemon regions, and it's super good. Yeah, I thought it was a very good video, and it's like, yeah, stuff like that, it's really cool.
And that's kind of what I want to do, but I mean, not today.
Yeah. Right now we're too busy watching you play a video game.
Yeah, you're too busy watching me play a video game to watch me talk about a video game. Wait. Yeah, but stuff. It's an art. I'd have to become better at, like writing a script.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I have a lot of thoughts, but it's hard to actually
put them into words,
summarize them well and concisely into a well-written script.
Yeah, the same thing with me too. Like, I have so many thoughts on things, and that I think, and also like an opinions that I think like could be very interesting. But yeah, it's just I cannot properly put that in a short, like in a nice script format that's easy to understand and is to the point, because I just ramble about things. So it'd just be a mess.
I mean, even if you ramble, I feel like a lot of people would still like that.
That's true. Like, just rambling about things, but in my head, I'm always like, no, that needs to be structured. Like, that's what, like, whenever we made, like, discussion videos on, like, you know, like a discussion video on, oh yeah, we finished playing this game or that game, and then we talk about it, like with Deltron, for example. in my head, I was always like, no, we need to structure it properly. But
yeah,
then immediately...
you are like that. And I'm
but
usually like, no, that
that's-
doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because immediately it stops and we just talk about random shit. And it's like, yeah, that works.
That does work.
So I shouldn't worry about it too much.
I feel like there's value in both. But if it's two people just talking about game, it works way better to just ramble about it.
Yeah, true. If it's in a
just
conversation, it makes more sense. Like, it feels
the
more natural.
excitement the excitement comes across way more and is way more endearing.
Yeah, when it's just
if
like,
you just ramble on.
I want to talk about this part because I think it's cool. Yeah.
And you might forget about a thing, but who cares if you talk about 20 things and then forget about one thing.
That happens so
somebody
often.
will
Where I'm
care,
like,
and
"Dang,
somebody
I
will
forgot
comment
this."
about it, but
Yeah,
that means...
like exactly. Like right after we finished recording the reaction to the latest Nintendo Direct, I was immediately like, shit, I forgot to talk about Kirby.
do you want to talk about Kirby now?
I mean, I could. It's just that.
What do you
Oh
want
wow,
to say about it?
wasn't expecting that. It looks cool. I think it's nice and interesting that they decide to go for a different art style with like the black outlines and stuff. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's about
I think
it.
it's still a little unnecessary and confusing.
I also
but-
wouldn't say it's necessary per se, but I think it's cool. Like,
I actually watched an interesting video about about who owns what and like why Nintendo seems to be dropping certain franchises. It's actually a video by the guys who split off from Game Explain. What are they called? Like Good Vibes Gaming.
Yeah, Good Vibes Gaming. Yeah.
Yeah, and they actually made a very good video about like which studio owns what and why it feels like Nintendo is ignoring franchise, but it's actually like more about circumstance.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, it feels like we're getting a million Kirby games. Well, yeah, that's why, like, that's because, like, the studio that makes Kirby isn't gonna make F-Zero. So it's a moot point to say like, oh, we're getting Kirby and that's why we're not getting F-Zero. Yeah, no, that's not
exactly.
the
That's
thing.
the thing. Just because they're developing a Kirby game doesn't make F-Zero not happen because they were not developing F-Zero games.
Also, I'm actually really happy I'm getting curly leaves in here because I still need a couple more to finish the recipes.
Oh,
so that I don't have to grind for them, which is very good. Also, the background, it's the Samurai Kingdom, by the way.
Yeah, it was very beautiful. It's very beautiful. I like it.
Which we don't see anymore now. But yeah, fucking... I also, Flim in here, he seems to have just double prices of the base price. Which is weird because I feel like when I went through this the first time, he had like regular prices. Maybe that's just the thing. If you do it the second time, it's doubled. I don't know. I don't really care because why would you buy items in the pit? But whatever. I guess you do get a lot of coins, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I actually didn't see like how many coins did you have when you started this?
0. Exactly 0.
So you started at exactly 0 and now you have 534. Jesus.
Yeah. Like these enemies give a lot of points and a lot of money. We actually had like, well, the one thing that people might know about that watch the Pokemon streams, that I had the idea of making just a video, well, basically a video about Celeste and what the experience in that game meant to me. It's been on the back burner for a long time. I haven't really put that much thought or work into it, but I still really want to do it. It just getting started.
Yeah, of course, that's always the hard part.
And I also had the, like, I played a hat in time. Well, now it's a couple of months ago, or like a month ago.
Yeah.
Basically, I finished it. And like, that was also super fun. And I talked about it with you.
Yeah,
Like a family get
bit.
together. And after that, I was like, man, this would have been interesting for a video.
Yeah. Like, that's
Just
the, I
us
think,
talking about a hat in time.
like, I think it could be interesting if you just play games on your own time. That you make a video where it's just like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, I played this game recently, and here's what I thought about it.
And it was very good. Like, especially when it's good.
Yeah,
Like, it's
but
also fun shitting on things,
yeah.
but
I don't know. I think it could be interesting, just like your thoughts, whether it's good or bad or something in the middle. Like you played like 999 and all those games.
yes.
And then wait, no, yeah, you played those games stuff. Like, I think it could be cool. Like, I'm sure there's some people who think it's very interesting to get a video where it's just like, oh hey, I played these games. Here's what I thought about it. I thought this was good. I thought this was meh. Like,
Yeah, thing is, but like, I mean, if it's just me talking about it without you, I feel like I'd have to make a script about it, and then
no, that's true. That's true. I get that. But that's why I'm like,
I'm very inclined to feel like I would be forgetting stuff and not like, I don't know, the fear of regret. Does this make sense? The fear of not saying,
not properly
like,
saying what you want to
not
say.
properly. Like, I know how I feel about the game in my head.
Yeah, but then you want to make sure that that feeling comes across to people, and that
Yes.
they don't misunderstand your feelings. On the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just conveying how you feel about something, like, well, is actually really hard.
Oh, I think that's super difficult. That's why whenever we, like, oftentimes when we do like discussion video and stuff, I always think like, ah shit, I forgot to talk about this thing or that thing, and I always think like, oh no, people are gonna misunderstand or whatever.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean with if it's just the two of us talking about an experience. I feel like the giddy excitement that comes across with that is just carries the video, and then you don't really need to like convey.
So that was very fun. Just like you slowly like nudge and then bam, level up. Like you touch like the tip of your toe, like boop, and then
Also, you
bam.
jumped over that fireball. That was impressive.
Pretty sick.
Like, if it was a fun experience, just us talking about it, the giddy excitement we showed is enough to carry how we feel about the game.
Oh, definitely.
If it's something that you didn't like, it's way harder, because if you do not structure your points perfectly,
It's gonna
some
come
people
across
will just
as like,
tear you apart.
Yeah, no,
As
I
like,
get that,
well,
yeah.
if you look at it like this, then it's not that bad. And it's there was actually a good term for that, where it's like, fuck, now I'm gonna ruin the entire thing trying to think about this. what was the term?
wait, what is the term? Like, I mean,
It's basically for where if you enjoyed something, you are more easily inclined to forgive its faults.
oh,
But what's the term? Oh god, now I want to know what the term is.
for a second I thought you were gonna talk about negativity bias, but that's something different.
No, it's basically the opposite thing.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I feel like Fire Emblem Echoes is a good example for that, where I can concede, like, yeah, the gameplay isn't that good, but just everything else is so good. That's the best thing. The game, it's so good. I can ignore its faults more easily because I
they do
enjoyed it
another
so
part
much.
good. Yeah, I mean that's
So, for example, for Pokemon, I'm like, oh god, I don't like this and I don't like this and I don't like this, and I'm just, after the first couple of hours, I'm not enjoying myself anymore. But for people who just play Pokemon, are like, yeah, fun, catch Pokemon, train Pokemon, that's all I need, this is really fun. Those faults don't matter to them, and they're still valid experiences and valid opinions.
Yeah,
so
because that's the thing. It's like people get different things, like out of it. Like people played for different reasons. Some people, like for example, there are people who say, "Oh man, Arceus was a fucking disappointment. It sucks." And then other people will say like, "Oh my god, Arceus is one of the best Pokemon games we've had in a very long time." And that's just because those people play Pokemon for different reasons. One person plays it because they really like battles, and hey, guess what? This game doesn't have as many cool trainer battles and stuff, so that's the thing for them. But then other people, like me and probably you as well, who played more for like, you know, exploring and just like encountering the Pokemon, catching the Pokemon. For those people, the game was really cool. So
Arceus game
like,
is
again,
actually
different
another
people-
really great example, Lenny. It was like, no matter which way you look at it, the game does have an incredible amount of faults.
Yeah, but the thing is, the things that it does well are the things that also like just we appreciate more. But it's also just they do the things that we like well, so that means we can ignore the faults a bit better. Yeah. It's the same, like, I have that a lot with movies, where there's some, like, there's movies where it's like, okay, if you look at it objectively, there's definitely a lot of faults with the movie. Like, for example, like, oh, the plot is extremely predictable and kind of run-of-the-mill. We've seen this a lot of times before. But then there's but then the movie does some small things very well that I really like. So then I can ignore the faults. I can ignore the bigger picture if it gets like the little details right. And that's like for example, Turning Red, like a most recent Pixar movie. That's a movie that it's extremely predictable. I've seen the plot a million times already. From the start to the finish, I know exactly what's gonna happen in the plot because those kind of story arcs are I'm so used to them already. But there's so many small little details in that movie that I think they do so well and are so fun. And it's a movie where, when watching it, I just get the feeling that, man, these people had so much fun working on this movie and stuff that I really liked it, even though it's an extremely predictable plot and the plot isn't that cool. They just got so many little things right that I'm like, oh man, this was cool. This was great.
Yeah. It also describes Echoes for me very well. Like, they got so many things right. It's so good. Yeah, and then also just the story behind the director and stuff. It's, I don't know, it's heartwarming.
Yeah, like, that's a perfect example of how everything, like, pretty much everything is subjective. It's like, you can look at things objectively, but no matter who you are, you will always judge things on a subjective level. And it's important to realize that whenever you hear people talk about something or whatever, that it's always subjective.
Yeah. Like, I've learned that.
And it's hard to say, like, because, you know, when talking, like, for example, when we talk about things, like when we talk about Pokemon, for example, Game Freak or whatever, it's like, it's very easy to say, like, oh man, this thing is bad, instead of saying, I think this thing is bad. And, of course, when we say this is bad, we're just talking about our opinions, what we think, but it still can come across as more aggressive, I guess. So I think that's one of the reasons why some people don't like it when we talk about Game Freak like that. But again, it's like, you know, you should know, like, I feel like it should be assumed that, you know, we're respectful of people's opinions. And if we say, oh man, this sucks, what we mean is, in my opinion, we do not like this thing, but we can see how other people might like the thing, and that is okay.
But it's like, when you're creating content, like, it's the whole hyperbolic YouTube entertainment still. Like, I realize this is we'll call it a character flaw of mine, where I just get incredibly heated about stuff, and sometimes very defensive, but this is more about, like, when we're recording, and I'm, like, raising my voice and stuff, like,
it's
realize in the grand scheme of things, I know this shit doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that Pokemon Sword and Shield weren't good games, or I thought those weren't good games. But it's fun to get heated about random shit like that.
Yeah, it's just fun to get heated about things you're passionate about.
Like, to me, I'm just talking about that stuff with Lenny. I'm not talking about that stuff to change your mind.
Yeah, no. Like, the thing is that we're never trying to convince people. That's the big thing.
And that's hard for some people who are online, and I do get it, because
I mean,
when
online,
you post something online, you are like, also this floor.
Nice.
20 damage.
Yeah. But yeah, like online, there's less room for nuance, I feel like.
Yeah, but I get it. If we feel strong enough about our opinion to post a video about it online, it is more than just having that opinion. I do get that.
Yeah,
where people are like, if you post it online, well, it means you really stand by your opinion.
Yeah, we're purposefully putting it out there for people to see.
So I do get it why some people feel like if they see somebody complaining about a video game they really enjoy, it's like, oh no, they have a certain fuck. I'm having another problem word, Lenny.
Oh no.
It's a form of authority, right?
Yeah.
We're like an authority figure online in a way. Like, we have more, well, we have a following, and that's why, they're pushing their opinion onto the internet and onto people and onto their following, which to me personally is not the case. I like talking about things, but I don't want to change your mind about that thing. If you want to enjoy something, enjoy that thing.
Yeah, and in fact, I feel like whenever we talk about something, I think it would be very nice to see comments of people with different opinions, so I can see oh, what did they think about it? Because I always think I like hearing about people who have different opinions from mine. So I'm always
it's
of
the
the
spice
mind
of life.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm always in the mind of if you disagree with us, awesome, that's great, because it would suck if there's only one single opinion for everything in the universe. People have different opinions, and that's something to be celebrated.
Just don't get super defensive about it.
Yeah, I know a lot of things that I like, people don't like, and it's that's too bad, but yeah, I get it. Okay, you do you.
Fuck, what I wanted to say. Oh no, I forgot the thing I wanted to say.
Oh no.
Thing I like.
Well, was it about this strange and odd background?
No. It was something about oh yeah, I actually, whenever I see a video title that's the problem with, and then something I actually liked, I actually really like watching videos like that.
Oh, so you can see where
even when they just
from?
completely shit about on something and a fault of something, usually I can be okay, yeah, that's kind of dumb in this video game, for example, that thing happens, and I can laugh about it with them, even though I disagree about the whole picture.
Yeah.
It's no, I do enjoy this thing, but more power to you.
Yeah. I mean, on the other hand, I also think because it's I agree, it's very easy to be yeah, people have different opinions, that's great. But I do think if I see people, for example, I fucking love Kid Icarus Uprising. I adore that game. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But when I see people sharing that game because of because of the controls, it's I totally get it. But at the same time, I'm still God damn it, you just didn't get it. No, how dare you? There's nothing wrong with the control. Yeah. I also can get defensive very easily about things that I like.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, the hour or two I played of Kid Icarus Uprising, I really didn't like the controls, so I get it.
Yeah.
But then again, the story I experienced through Choco Conroy's playthrough, and as a person who really values story and characters and world building in a game, yes, Kid Icarus Uprising is probably almost a perfect game. So there you go. It's just it matters so much about what you value, because I think you can't say the controls are perfect in Kid Icarus Uprising, right, Lenny? If they were different and more standard.
The thing is, the game could definitely work with a more standardized control scheme, using a second analog stick to turn the camera and shit. That, objectively, yes, that would work. However, I do think that the game, the control scheme that it has right now, is in fact a lot more accurate. Even though it is a bit more difficult to hold your 3DS and stuff. But that's why I think, there were rumors, I don't know where they came from, but there were rumors oh, they might be doing
having it on the Switch.
Porting it to the Switch, and I'm that'd be fucking amazing. But I also thought okay, so if you don't have the touch controls to spin the camera around and stuff, that's I mean, it's unfortunate because I think it works really well, but yeah, you can't do that on the Switch. But I feel replacing it with gyro controls, kind of in Splatoon, that would actually work pretty well. So I feel if they bring it back on the Switch, that would actually be very smart. Yeah.
Perfect segue, which could also lead into why does it why is it a big deal in this case but not in this case? It's actually about Splatoon. So I haven't bought Splatoon 3. I don't care to. I'm not going to, because I've barely played 2, and just another single player experience isn't enough. Isn't worth the full price game. I'm not going to play the multiplayer, so I'm not going to do it. So I haven't seen anything about the single player, except one thing. I saw a video pop up
Okay.
And it was about the big man boss fight.
Oh, you saw that? Yeah, yeah.
And I cannot believe you didn't tell me about that!
Well, see, the thing is, I didn't want to tell you about anything in the single player because I was still holding out hope that, oh, no, you know, maybe someday you'll play it. But then, of course, now I realize, now you're probably not going to play it. And that's perfectly fine. I think it's too bad because I think the single player is fucking great. And I love this game. But I totally get that's not your thing. But yeah, by the way, yeah, that fight, like, when I was doing it, I immediately was thinking about, like, oh man, that guy would really like this.
That's such an example of, oh my god, I saw the thing, they did the thing, I clapped when they did the thing. And like, usually, I'm like, when they do references like that, I'm like, ugh, oh, come on, skip, it's dumb, they're just doing it for like claps, oh, I saw the thing.
Yeah, but this one just, but this one just specifically hit, you know, that one part in your brain where you're like, ooh.
Yes, and it's also so unexpected.
Yeah, like when it happened, I was like, because that's the thing, doing the single player, I mean, I don't want to get into spoilers and stuff, because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't played it, but like, it's not really spoilers, I guess, I mean, because you said it's not really spoiler that, yeah, you fight deep cut. So yeah, when doing this, I was like, immediately like, okay, so if you fight them, okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know why, by the way.
How the hell are you gonna do that with Big Man? Because Big Man's like such a nice guy. So like, how is that gonna work? But then when it happened, I was like, wait, I know this. What is why? Like, what is this doing here?
It's so funny.
It was very funny. I was like, oh wow, that's kind of perfect.
Yeah, but it's such like a perfect example of like, why do you usually hate like just references for the clap like that, but this one is fine.
But now it's the reference that I like.
Not really that. It's like because it's so unexpected.
I mean, it is something like, very specific to bring back.
Yeah. That's like
from like a different franchise.
For some reason, even in A Hat in Time, when suddenly you hear Borks, I'm like, oh my god, that's very funny and cute.
Yeah.
Even though like it's just a reference, but I feel like in A Hat in Time, there's a lot of cases like that. Like if you don't get the reference, the joke isn't ruined.
Yeah, that's the big thing with references. If the joke is reference and that's it, then it's okay. But if it's just a funny line and how it's funny, but then some people go like, hey, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a lot of instances like that in A Hat in Time.
Yeah, like, I bet there's lines in there that you thought like, oh, hey, that's funny. That was actually a reference to something that they just didn't get.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's even cases where it's like, even a question whether it's a reference to something. And like, okay, I'm assuming people, if you don't want to hear about A Hat in Time, skip the next 10 seconds. But like, in the Snatcher boss fight, where it's like, oh, were you waiting for me? Did you just turn me blue with my own attack?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, is this supposed to be an Undertale reference or not? Like, it could be, but not necessarily. Like, I feel like that's references done well. And I'm sure the big man boss fight, like, if you don't get the reference, like, the entire thing is lost. It's just like, okay, sure, this is a boss fight.
Yeah, just like, oh yeah, that's a cool boss fight.
But it's just the fact that, like, it's so unexpected. It's such an old thing. It's not like a reference people would be like, oh, dude, imagine if that got referenced. Yeah. No, it's something like very minor.
Yeah, like, I don't think there's a lot of people who think about that particular thing often.
So, I don't know. Like, it's so circumstantial. And it's a good example of like, okay, it's fine in this case, but not in this case. Why? You know what? I can't even tell you 100% why. So it's just personal preference, personal experience, and it's fine to think differently. Just realize that. And I feel like the video we uploaded of, well, when we did was it the first?
It's one of the
Scarlet and Violet, well, the second Scarlet and Violet thing, where I just uploaded like, don't take our opinions for gospel. You can like whatever you want. Just that. It's like, it's so true, and I wish people would just do that more. It's like, you can listen to us, but you don't have to agree.
Yeah.
And you don't have to get super defensive about it.
Yeah, although I do think that it's something that, like, I feel like at this point we can like stop talking about that because we've talked about it a bunch of times already.
What you mean about Pokemon specifically, or?
No, the whole thing about like, hey, opinions are opinions. Don't take everything for gospel. Like we repeat that every single time we talk about Pokemon, for example. So it's I feel like people already know this, so we shouldn't repeat it too often. Because I'm just scared obnoxious. That some parts of this conversation are gonna get like we know.
No, it's fine. Like if we talked about, I mean, we did talk about for like, oh, also this.
Nice. Whoa.
That reminds me of Frankly's books you can stand on and do the same thing in T2ID.
Oh, nice. Yeah, definitely. So, since we were talking about Splatoon, I also have a little story I want to talk about.
Oh boy.
I mean, I told you a little about it yesterday, but yeah, basically, it's not really a big spoiler or whatever, but basically, if you finish the single-player campaign in Splatoon, and you've beaten all of the levels, you unlock like another level, and it's basically the
yeah, you told me about it.
And it's basically the Champions Road of the Mario games, like, but for Splatoon. So it's just
Is it better than the Octo Expansion Secret Boss?
Well, let me tell you. So basically, it's like it's just a level that's fucking hard. It's very hard, and I've been chipping away at that level for like 3 days because it's like, I mean, because just like, I play like after work, I can play a bit, but it's very hard, so I don't, and I'm not that good, so like, yeah, I was having a hard time finishing it, but there are checkpoints in between like the level segments, I guess. So I got a checkpoint. I'm like, okay, cool. Then I could put down the game if I want and do the next part next day or whatever. But basically, like yesterday, I was at the final room of the level. The challenge was super difficult. Like it was kicking my ass super hard. But I was getting there, and like the ending, like you can see the end point like right there. So it's like you're right there, and I was doing it, and tough. But I feel like okay, I'm doing pretty good, and I've been working at this for 3 days. So I'm like, okay, today's the day. I'm gonna finish this, and I'm getting close, and then suddenly, due to an error, the software had to be closed.
Oh wow.
So 3 days of work for fucking nothing.
Well, I don't imagine it could be that extremely hard.
It is. I mean, for me, but like,
yeah,
dude, I was legitimately so fucking angry. I was so upset. I was so butthurt. I haven't been that butthurt, like maybe ever. Like Jesus Christ.
I don't believe that. It's very cute when you actually get super butthurt for no reason.
No, but I was very upset. But I mean, of course, now I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's not a big deal. Like,
yeah.
But at that point, I was like, because like I was also kind of laughing because it's like, dude, are you for real? Like, just random, like, game closed. Yeah, lost all progress. So that was like, oof. And I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna go back to that level anytime soon. Because like, now I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna play Salmon Run. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, weren't you gonna play Splatoon yesterday with a bunch of friends? So
yeah.
You actually were you able to finish it then?
Well, I mean, I didn't finish the level because I got the error, but after the error, I was like,
but you got the error yesterday, and then you could play multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
by the way, these. Yes.
I told them, and yeah, of course they were like, "Oh Jesus Christ, really?"
These dark fart boys. Like when I first encountered them, I was like, "Well, how do you know which gas they spew?" And they actually spew random gas, so that's how they work. And I don't know if I'm gonna catch that guy. I kind of wanted to capture the Daisy, but I mean, I already have its card, so.
True.
Also, yes, I know about the Amazy Daisy trick. You don't have to... don't look at that Bowser for too long. I know about the Amazy Daisy trick. You don't have to tell me about it a million times. It's fine. I know about it. I just haven't needed to use it to get coins. I'll do it
actually,
endgame to finish my card collection. Yes?
Have there been a lot of comments about that? Because I haven't read them. I don't know what that trick would be.
Oh, just the trick to get infinite coins easily.
Oh.
No, well, you'll see it when I do it.
Oh, are you gonna do it?
Also, somebody sent me a message on Discord, and you know who you are if you... Yeah, Discord has done a weird update where you need to, like, approve messages?
Wait, what?
Have you seen that?
No.
Like, I didn't see their message because I didn't get the DM. I actually got, like, a ping in a separate a little menu where I had to, like, say, like, yes, this message is fine. It's weird. It's like a Discord update.
Huh.
So I didn't see it for a while, but I saw it, and basically they sent me a playlist of like dialogue in this game, and holy shit, we're just insignificant specks in the like the fuck.
What?
We haven't shown anything in this game, Lenny.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you realize that every time the text changes in flipside and flopside, the text changes all over the world, and we missed some fucking gold?
Really? Like, wait, when you say all over the world, you mean like in all of the other levels
You
and stuff?
do not realize
How much text is there?
Funny fucking dialogue we haven't seen.
You mean like from like random people in Yole Town or something?
Well, I mean, this will be for after the playthrough, but now I'm so happy. I have a file ready of every chapter, and like I copied my file each time, so I can go
just
back
show
to
off
previous chapters.
all of the funny shit.
Because I 100% want to show off that funny shit. There's some dialogue that's just too good not to show. And I'm really happy that person sent the videos.
Nice.
Yeah, and also didn't realize that there's also a video in there doing every boss in 3D. Which is something you rarely think about. Like, for example, in the first Chunks battle, you can grab him, flip to 3D, toss him, and then you can do the battle with him in 3D.
Oh.
Like, you can take 2D bosses into 3D.
Oh, wow. Like, you're on my turf now, motherfucker.
Also, by the way, look at my score. I did this just for a little trick. People told me about it, and I was like, you know what, I'll do it here. Look at my score. Yeah, the shell shock is kind of crazy.
Wowee.
So like I said, I've given up on balance level-wise.
Dude, who cares?
Yeah, but yeah, the shell shock is insane if you can kill a lot of enemies in one fell swoop, and this is like a perfect floor to do that. So I decided to show that off. And again, I feel like I've interrupted something.
Nope.
So those guys are so fucking obnoxious.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Me?
We.
Well, I mean, I was still talking about my Splatoon story.
Oh, well, I guess the bosses in 3D and stuff, but...
Oh, and yeah. That.
Yeah, just like... It's... I'm so happy well, the guy sent that to me because... I mean, it's pretty obvious, Lenny, but like... Between every chapter, we didn't return to Fort Francis, and it's a crime.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, God.
But that will be for after the playthrough.
Oh,
We'll
God.
do a
If there's
video
new
about
shit
it.
in Fort Francis, oh, my God.
Yes.
We need...
It's
oh, God,
so
I need
good.
to see that.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's one little detail that I just love.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, it's not, none of the post-it notes change, I think, but the dialogue of the maids changes, and yeah, it's pretty fucking good. I'm looking forward to it. Also, like some of the Yole Town residents, not like some of them are pretty basic, but there's actually I saw a couple that was like, okay, these are very funny. I'm gonna show these. It's actually the same case for flip and flop side. Honestly, like some dialogue is just very funny, and then some is just like, hey, you know, this is fine. So I'll pick and choose what I want to show. So I'm gonna have my work cut out for me after the playthrough.
Man,
Yeah, I feel like honestly,
great.
yeah. Speaking of having your work cut out for you, I haven't really talked about it yet. We sort of did in the beginning, but the whole fact that like this game, the pits in this game, you have the flip side pit, yeah, right, but then you have a flop side pit, which you would think like, okay, sure, 2 pits, fine. But the fact that you have to do the flop side pit twice,
It's honestly very stupid.
it makes a little sense. Like seeing what the boss is trying to do.
Well, yeah, true.
But like honestly, game design wise, it's such a poor choice. The fact that there's already 2 pits, you didn't have to have us do one of those pits twice. Especially since there's also technically another pit in this game. Like,
Oh my God,
why
what are you
are there
talking
so many
Yeah.
like gauntlets in this game?
Yeah, honestly, I hadn't even thought about it, but it's like, wait, yeah, that is... Technically, that is kind of a 3rd pit.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, here I wanted to do some
Yeah.
fun stuff, but you'll see it's not gonna work out that well. You can see the gears turning in my head.
Yeah, yeah, I can see like, wait, what if I do this?
Oh no.
Yeah,
No,
throw it from
I'll
below.
I'll try this approach. Oh god, help! Okay, never mind, level up!
Okay, that works.
Yeah, but here you can see again, like, the score in this pit is just so fucking insane.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that many level ups, honestly.
I feel like just doing this pit twice, I got like 700,000 points. It's 700,000. Yeah, 700,000. It's fucking insane, this pit. Also nice. Are we on the last floor? I think we are, right?
Yeah, this is 99.
I think you'll really enjoy how this ends.
Oh boy.
I don't want to give it away, but it's poetic in a way. You think you can guess how it ends, or you probably can't? I'm not giving enough information. I don't want to give more
You're
information.
definitely not.
Right.
I do think your HP level is very nice.
Yeah, that's why I said nice. Yeah, I mean, this mural, I also found like I think it's not a Tumblr post. Well, some kind of blog, a website where somebody posted all the murals of this game without the, well, basically everything in front of it, which was cool. I actually have all those saved, which is nice because I use them for a thumbnail.
Yeah.
Last time I used Fractal. This time I'll use. Which one looks best, you think?
I do like how the fractal one looks, actually. But
Yeah, okay, but Fractal one I can't use for this one.
Yeah, true. Okay, out of these ones, I would say it's probably the Samur's Kingdom one.
Maybe. Yeah, alright. I'm at the door of the final floor. We'll finally be able to see the mayor of Flopside.
Final floor door.
Let me switch to the correct characters I want for the... Oh. Hey,
Poetic.
guess what?
Poetic.
The batteries ran out.
It was about to happen. It was about to happen at some point.
This happened, I was like, yes, perfect. So this is how my Wii U is waiting. Please wait a second, Lenny. I'm gonna go fetch my batteries.
Dude, your Wii remote has excellent comedic timing.
It does. So please, wait for a while. Feel free to talk, Lenny, while I go fetch batteries. It'll only take a couple of seconds, but You know, it's very funny. All right.
Okay.
Be back in a second.
Well, I mean, I feel like I want to talk about Splatoon and the single player and stuff, but it's hard really to do that with Fat Guy because he hasn't played it. He's not going to play it. And I don't want to spoil anything, of course. But like, hey, guess what? I thought it was very cool. At the beginning, like, I really love how at the beginning they totally fake you out thinking it's going to be one thing. And then it's like, ha, psych, nope. Actually, the single player is like way bigger than you were expecting. And it's really cool. Very cool level design. Plot-wise, I think it's very cool how it hints at like things that's like, you know, things people were already like thinking about since the last game. And like and the lore was like there was more to it than I was expecting. The ending was super crazy, although I honestly, on paper, the ending is like something that would be right up my alley. But I kind of think it's like too crazy for Splatoon and too like, whoa.
It's too whoa, bro.
Yeah.
Is it too whoa, bro?
I mean, I think so, which is weird because it seems like it would be right up my alley. But I was like, nah, it's like maybe it was they went a bit too hard.
Also, could you check the thumbnail of today's video and then give me your opinion?
Well, shit, let me check out.
While I'm putting batteries into my Wii remote.
Did Fat Guy 703 upload a video?
Well, yeah, of course he did.
Oh, wow, he did. And it looks very nice. Very fitting.
Right? Thank you.
Very well done.
All right, the batteries are in.
All right. Good.
Oh my god, it's Bowser!
What?